Now that the U.S. government is officially open, will things finally start to turn around for the markets? And you won't believe what Bitcoin has done historically after shutdowns end. Plus, the first XRP ETF is set to go live today. This is your Altcoin Buzz news. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, is not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces Tuesday to Friday at 9 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, guys. So, pretty much yesterday, Bitcoin did the thing that we did not want it to do. It closed below $103,500, and it's now below there now. It looks like it's wicking up, and also we have to go to a little lower time frames. It looks like it's just making a series of lower highs here on the lower time frames. So not really what we wanted to happen. This could still change today. It could still, come back now that we have the government finally open. But I have a feeling it wants to test this $98,000 level sooner than later. Based on how these candles are, I think we are probably coming down here still towards $98,000. Unless we close much better than this right now, it is looking like we want to go lower before we go higher. So keep that in mind today. Even though I think it is bullish, the government has opened up, I do think Bitcoin still wants to take out these lows before going higher. That could change, but for now, it does look like we want to go lower. Now, moving on, we have CryptoRS saying after 43 days of uncertainty, the shutdown is officially over. Investors fled to safety buying gold and silver, but now we could see rotation back in digital assets. Over 16 crypto ETF applications are awaiting final approval, with the government reopening, the SEC and CFTC staff return to work, clearing the way for long-delayed crypto decisions. Trump's nominee Mike Selig heads for November 19th CFTC confirmation hearing, a key move towards clear regulation. The Treasury will also resume reviewing feedback on the Genius Act, focused on stablecoin oversight. Historically, the end of the U.S. government shutdown has sparked a major Bitcoin rally, and he also shares here, when the noise fades, patient wins. The last time the U.S. government reopened after a shutdown in January 2019, Bitcoin rallied more than 300% in months that followed. History doesn't always repeat, but the markets move with confidence shift. Expect volatility as the vote cleared tonight. So we can see here, after the government shutdown ended, we were kind of at the bear market lows. So I will say we weren't at the the peaks up here. But after the government reopened, we went 300% in the months following. But I will say we weren't at the top of the range like we are currently right now. Then we also have the Kobayashi leader who says it's official. The U.S. government borrowed $619 billion of debt during this 43-day government shutdown. That's $14.4 billion per day while the federal government was shut down. There's only one thing that never stops in the U.S. government: deficit spending. And at the same time, Discover Crypto says Google searches for crypto have bottomed. There's zero retail interest in crypto right now, and this looks like a bottom, not a top. And then we have Nate Grass, who shares the SEC Chair Atkins provides his current crypto framework to the investor trying to discern the difference between buying a tokenized share of a stock and buying a collectible in a video game. We should offer more than a web of enforcement actions. All I can do is clap. What a shift. This is a huge shift from last time having the enforcement actions of the last SEC chair. Now, moving on, we have Colgate who shares that NASDAQ just certified the first ever spot XRP ETF, ticker XRPC by Canary Capital. This isn't just a listing, it's validation. XRP joins Bitcoin and ETH in the ETF club. Institutional access unlocked, regulatory clarity rising, market maturity confirmed. XRP is no longer just a token, it's infrastructure. We also have Cointelegraph sharing that traders turning fearful on crypto, while XRP shows twice as many bearish as bullish comments. Negative sentiment often signals capitulation before rallies, according to Santiment. And lastly, CoinDesk shares a spot XRP ETF will be a huge product that taps the $100 trillion TradFi market, according to Bitwise Invest CEO Hunter Horsley.
There's a ton of interest in XRP. My colleague Matt Hogan, our CIO, likes to say that the death of an ETF is apathy. And apathy is certainly not one of the elements of XRP. There's a lot of energy and interest and enthusiasm. So I think, there's $100+ trillion that live on traditional rails. And more of that is migrating on-chain. But nevertheless, there's $100 trillion there. An ETF is often the first time that much of those assets can tap into exposure to an asset. And I think if they have the opportunity to have exposure to and trade XRP, it'll be a very useful and high demand product.
Now, as for XRP, it did make this higher low here, so it was looking good yesterday, but I will say, as we are going down on Bitcoin right now, which you can see we are starting to sell off a little bit this morning, as Bitcoin is going down, I don't think XRP will hold up as well if Bitcoin dumps. I do think Bitcoin wants to go lower. So unfortunately, I don't think this is going to hold up. I think we might come back down here a bit lower. If we can get back down and take out these lows around $2, that's probably a great entry for XRP. But unless we're able to start closing back above 250, but really back above 275, XRP is kind of in a mid zone for me. While it does look decent here, I think the market wants to go lower, and I think Bitcoin wants to go lower as well. So nothing I'll be doing right now. I'm going to be waiting. Even though XRP has an ETF coming out today and it looks good, I do think there's going to be further sell-off before then. And then moving on, we have SUI unveils USD SUI, a native stablecoin issued by Stablecoin and Stripe Company. It's fiat-backed, genus-ready, and yield-sharing. USD SUI anchors the SUI economy, powering payments, DeFi, and real-world use cases across the network. We also have the SUI community sharing. SUI's ecosystem hits $70 million in total app revenue. Strong on-chain growth continues as builders push the network towards real adoption. At the same time, Ledger shares, we believe digital ownership should be rewarded. That's why Ledger has teamed up with the SUI network in our first rewards campaign, Play to Win. Across 3 rounds, there's a $400,000 SUI prize pool. And Mark shares that SUI's stablecoin transfer volume is up 61% in the past 7 days, so lots of network growth on SUI. At the same time, SUI is kind of going sideways, and what we want to see for SUI, as well as a lot of these altcoins, is we want to see the selling start to stop. And this is something I obviously draw a lot, where we are starting to go sideways right now on SUI. So we're kind of at this area right here on SUI, where the selling needs to kind of flatten out before we can continue higher. So we do want to see this for SUI. We want to see this happen. But right now, it looks like we're kind of at this area right now. So I think we're going to see more sideways kind of chop around this psychological $2-ish range. And then once we start to make these higher lows, this is really where you want to get invested back into SUI again, or start taking longs again on SUI. So I do like SUI, but I do think it's going to take a little bit more time for it to play out and for the distribution and accumulation to happen at this range low here around the $2 level. And then eventually I think we'll take off again on SUI. Although the market has changed, SUI still keeps pushing and breaking records. The Misten Labs team, the team behind SUI, keeps launching new products, and its ecosystem also keeps growing. And with that, many stats keep showing new all-time highs for SUI. SUI is still killing it in all the big sectors it supports, like DeFi, where DEX volumes keep making new records with $175 billion. DEXs, perps, and inflows are all surging into year-end. Institutions also gain regulatory custody and liquidity support for SUI, with Crypto.com recently launching secure institutional custody solutions for SUI tokens. Various native stablecoins are also available on SUI. For example, Circle's USDC, SUI USDE in partnership with Athena, YLDS from Figure, and USDI backed by BlackRock's tokenized money market fund BUIDL. So if you haven't used SUI lately, then come give it a try and follow SUI's X account for all the latest updates. And then moving on, we have Say is now officially listed on Binance. So Say can now be accessed and traded by 300 million plus American users through the world's biggest exchange. So this is on Binance US as well. With giants like BlackRock and Apollo already building on Say, adoption is starting to heat up. An Ally chart says Say expanding to a wider investor base is bullish, especially as it could be nearing the end of its consolidation phase, with TD Sequential flashing a macro buy signal. This looks like the calm before the next leg up. And Tanaka says, if you map Say's recent exchange integrations, the pattern is clear. Say Network is bringing the mass adoption for retail, institutional, and on-chain finance. You've got Robinhood app onboarding Say for 25 million plus US retail investors, Binance running a validator plus liquidity infrastructure across Say, Binance US opened deposits this week, giving American institutions a compliant access point, and behind that, BlackRock, Apollo, and Hamilton Lane's tokenized funds already settling on Say. Combine that with Circle, Chainlink, and MetaMask integrations, and Say becomes the first Layer 1 built for institutional liquidity, retail distribution, and real-time on-chain settlement to coexist. Basically, Say is becoming the clearing layer for the modern financial stack. Now, as for Say, it's pretty much in the same spot as SUI right now. We've had this downtrend here. We now need to just kind of consolidate around this area. So depending on where Bitcoin goes, maybe we take out these lows real quick and then come back here and then consolidate like this. But we're going to need to see a little bit more consolidation going sideways before we can continue up. I don't think it's going to just V-reverse and come back up here. I think we do need a little bit of time to consolidate at these lows. I think probably 16.5 is that area where we're going to consolidate for a bit before we head higher. So it'll probably look something like this. And then moving on, we have DeFi apps trading competition. And for the rest of the year, you can improve your trading chops and earn prizes aside from your ROI in Q4. So we have a DeFi app here. The $1 million trading contest is now live. $1 million in prizes. The top 500 traders win, ranked by absolute P&L, runs until January 1st, and the top trader walks away with $200,000, compete in the biggest P&L contest on planet Earth. We also have DeFi app sharing, the biggest comeback story in $1 million trading contest so far. We have Matter Trades launched in the trenches and took a bad L on day one, and today he's at the top. We can also see the leaderboard on the DeFi app is on fire today. J-Dog is running the table with a massive $10,000 lead, straight savage. Zenitude is calm but deadly, sitting in line for that $150,000 prize. TDF1 might just flip the whole board if momentum keeps up. And 3Piece Instance came out of nowhere with a wild 257% P&L before lunch. Crazy energy in the markets right now. Every trade counts, and it feels like anyone could steal the crown by the end of the day. If you're in the mix, tag yourself. Let's see who's really pushing limits out there. So you can see here the DeFi app trading contest where we have J-Dogs, Zenitude, the DeFi Investor, 3Piece, and Legend. You can also check out DeFi App's trading competition with the link down below. And then lastly for today, we have Consumer Fi debuts on CaliX, Aurora-based launchpad on near intents. According to the official statement by its team, Consumer Fi, a multi-purpose consumer economics protocol for the AI era, goes live on CaliX launchpad with its token CFI. The next generation consumer finance protocol bridges decentralized finance with AI and real-world data, enabling individuals to monetize their digital activity while maintaining privacy. And building on the success of last month's oversubscribed IntelX sale, the Consumer Fi launch advances CaliX's vision for simple and frictionless participation. It leverages near intents, the fastest growing cross-chain interoperability layer, experiencing rapid growth with a total swap volume of over $4 billion. And Consumer Fi is building the personal intelligence layer for decentralized apps and AI agents, turning fragmented consumer data into private user-owned insights. Built with near AI and near intents, empowers users to control their data, generate personalized finance insights, and earn rewards from their online activity, all while keeping their information private. So that is Consumer Fi debuting on CaliX, and that is the video for today, guys. I do think Bitcoin wants to go a bit lower. I do think it's very possible we take out these $98,000 range over the next couple of days. Bitcoin had this kind of sell-off yesterday while gold rallied. Even though the U.S. government has shut down or has opened up from its shutdown, I do think we want to take out these lows before heading higher. Bitcoin is just not looking the strongest right now, and so I do think it's very possible we come back down here. Unless we close a bit higher today. If we close back above, the $104,000 today, and we come back up here, then it's possible, but I think it's most likely that we come down here first. So that is what I'm looking for today on Bitcoin and altcoins, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.